Hello, it's me, that Divination witch. I hope you're doing well. I'm here with a witchy video. Let's get into it. If you don't know who I am, hello. Hi, my name is Sarah. I go by that Divination witch online. I specialise in divination. I love doing tarot readings. I love connecting with spirit and helping people. I do have other social medias, TikTok, and I've got a Patreon and Etsy store if you're interested in getting a reading from me. It's all linked below. But I do appreciate every single one of you. I really do. And if you like this video, hit thumbs up. Hope you're all doing well, seriously. And as you've probably guessed by the title, this is another video about my lovely mother. I call her mother. Hecate or Hecate. I normally just say Hecate. She is my spiritual mother. If you're new to my channel, basically she is my main guide through life, my main deity who I worship and respect and follow her advice in life, essentially. She is a very, very complex being, very complex, and I feel like I've only just scratched the surface in my journey with her myself. I've worked with her knowingly for quite a few years now, but yeah, I'm constantly learning things about her almost every day. She is, like I say, very complex, and in my experience, she isn't this scary, you know, kind of evil, dark spirit that's gonna, you know, have your ass handed to you. She can be, don't get me wrong. The whole purpose of me kind of creating this channel is in her honor as well. It's not just to help people, which I do enjoy doing, but I want to honor her, and I have a few things in the works which hopefully you'll all enjoy, and hopefully over time people will find me to, you know, talk about Hecate. And I want to talk about ways to connect with her, specifically through tarot and divination. It's not as hard as you think, it really isn't. Depending on what book you read, depends on the impression of Hecate you're going to get. Some books, especially demonology books and things like this, paint her out to be this dark, scary spirit. And I'm not denying that she can be that. But she isn't just that. She isn't going to send hordes of spirits after you, like some people have suggested. She isn't going to do anything bad to you, haunt you, without good reason. She's a goddess. And in my experience, her energy is primordial. I can't explain it. She has been here for so long, more than we realise, you know. She is the epitome of the divine feminine to me, and in my opinion. And the side to Hecate that comes to us is the side that perhaps we need. So yes, some people will need this dark side of her, but others not so much. So I don't want you, if you are a newbie, to be put off by that. Don't listen to these horror stories and take it with a pinch of salt. I say this about anything, even what I say, I suppose, but mythology, theology, people's grimoires, books you read on witchcraft and spirituality, they're all opinion pieces at the end of the day. They're all UPGs, unverified personal notices. If someone in a demonology book says she is this dark woman and all these things, that's their experience of her, and that's fair enough. But that doesn't mean she is just that and that she's going to hurt you. Now that's out of the way though, if you wish to talk with Hecate, here are some tips of how to do this through tarot. First and foremost, my tarot readings, I write them down. Here is a more recent one. I don't mind sharing this, okay? This is just me personally, and it may help you grow as a tarot reader. It has helped me over the years. It's like keeping a diary. I've literally got books and books and books like this that I write my readings down in. It is interesting to go back through them as well to see, one, how I have improved as a reader, and two, advice I'm being given, not just of Hecate, but I do readings with other spirits and other beings as well. Is there anything I'm missing? Is there a common theme? You know, it's handy to write it down. But if you are brand new, when you say write the meaning of a card down, like we've got the Hermit there, was it Hermit reversed? So right now, oh sorry, there's a hair in my eye. Hermit reversed essentially is like depression. That's what it means. I know what it means, and as you can see, I'm not writing down meanings of cards. I've channeled Hecate there. I've heard her words in my mind and channeled her and written it down. That's the way my readings work now. But they didn't always work that way. When I was first starting and first opening myself up, I didn't know the meaning of every single tarot card. It's complex. There's 70 odd cards, you know, and depending on what cards come out and in what order, and either upright, either reversed, it can all have an effect on what is meant, essentially. And as I'm speaking, I can feel someone touching the back of my head. It's like a tingle. And just a fun fact, a side note, that means someone's here, and it's probably Hecate. But yeah, when I first started out, would write every single card, and I had a cheat sheet of biddytarot.com. I'll link it below. It's a really good resource for beginners. It's been going a few years as well. Anyways, yeah, I had a cheat sheet of the tarot meanings, and I literally had to write everything down, and it took years of practice, but this is the stage I'm at now. I can channel spirit when I'm doing that. I don't always even need tarot cards. What I am saying is literally talk with Hecate. When she first reaches out to you, or you reach out to her, talk to her. Literally ask her a question. I mean, I haven't asked a question in that specific instance, but I'm just seeing if there was a question I've asked recently. There isn't really. It's a bit different, the things I've been going through recently. But you could ask her, why are you here? You could ask her, what does she want to teach you? Or what can she teach you? You could ask her as well, another fun tip, ask her for a card to represent herself, and ask her for a card to represent you. And you could maybe ask for a card to represent what your relationship will be like as well. I say this because I did that, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. I did that not long after I first established a relationship with her, and she gave me the Queen of Wands as the card for her. Stereotypically, her cards are the Moon, Hermit, maybe High Priestess. Off the top of my head is what I'm thinking of. But I wouldn't have said Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is kind of well, it makes sense now I think of it, a motherly figure, someone who is in power, in control, but is warm, inviting, kind, caring, but also has this side that can burn you if needed, you know, protective. Normally I would, if I thought of a goddess, I would think of someone like Brigid or Hestia, Vesta, you know, goddesses of the hearth and the home. But Hecate gave me that card, and reflecting now, just sitting chatting with you guys here, it makes complete sense why. She is my mother, I call her that. She does protect me, and in ancient times as well, one of her common epithets was that of protection, protecting the oikos, the home, and altars were set up specifically for her in the home and just outside the home as well as at the crossroads and things like that. You know, that's a different thing, but she had an epithet of, yeah, being that sort of woman. So I suppose makes sense, and maybe that's why I see her more in a loving kind of way. I mean, I'm not saying she's all just that, again, just disclaiming this, because I'm exploring different sides of her, you know, and getting to know her in different ways, and I'm going to share it with you guys, you know. But yeah, do not be afraid and ask. All you have to do is write it down. There's no fancy ritual that you have to do. Hecate does have rituals and ceremonies linked to her, which I'll talk about at some other point as well, more in depth and detail. There's one called I can never pronounce it right, Deipnon. Essentially, it's where you give food, offerings at the crossroads to her and the dead, and things like that. That's what I'm going to say at the minute. Just a brief overview. And there's certain nights that you can worship her that I recognise as more sacred nights, but Hecate, in my experience, she cares about that, of course, but it's not needed, it's not required. She's a very understanding goddess. Like I say, she's like the epitome of the divine feminine. She doesn't need all the fancy things. As time goes by, she may ask you for that as a sign of respect and worship, or you may want to do that. If you do, good on you. You know, that's great. But I'm aiming this video, I suppose, at beginners and people who maybe aren't able to do that or don't feel comfortable quite yet doing stuff like that. So no, there's no fancy ritual. You don't have to summon her, evoke her, all this stuff. Absolutely not. She's an all-powerful goddess who doesn't need all of that. Just talk with her, be respectful, do your research on her, find out a bit about her, and just be polite and open and honest. And I suppose that is all she asks for, and it's as simple as that. Anyways, I hope that helped. And again, if you've got any questions, just let me know. And until next time, stay safe and stay witchy.